Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hear Me Out Pitch. I'm Tim.
And I am Willem. Oh, do you want me to put it in there? Oh,
Sure.
be different? Oh, I'll be different today.
Let's be different.
Oh, let's be different. I'll put it in after. Anyway. Oh, well, for everyone in Utah, happy Pioneer Day. Everyone else, just enjoy this nice, hot, for 24th of July, I guess.
Or cold 24th of July if you're in the southern hemisphere.
Yeah, you Aussies. I hope you all enjoying it. I know that was terrible. Don't sue me. I usually can do a better accent. Sorry. I've been having like a down day, everybody, and I'm finally like, oh, perky again. So don't mind me. This is going to be a Tim-centric episode, even though Tim is exhausted.
I'm exhausted. My wife and I went to a lagoon today with my family, and
That's an amusement park in Utah.
it's a pretty great amusement park. Though
Yeah.
I feel like there might be some things I feel like need updating.
Yeah, I get that.
But
I get it.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. My feet really hurt. It was very hot. It was 100 degrees, 100 something. Anyway, I am tired, so I apologize ahead of time if I am zoning out a bunch, or if I can't quite collect all my thoughts, or if this episode just sucks because I'm not thinking straight. Willem will save it.
Whoa. Hold up. You're the idea guy. I'm just the guy in the chair guy. That's it.
You're Ned?
Yeah, Ned. What are you doing? I'm watching something. Well, we're hopefully going to in the future. I'm going to tell you guys this now. Really quick little touch base with you guys. We're hoping very soon you guys are going to get kind of 2 episodes in 1 week. Now, hold on. Don't get too excited now. Hopefully, in the near future, what you guys will get is you guys will just get the straight up end results of the episode. So, say we write a story about a baby cactus fighting an army of roses or something, and that sounds cool already. And
Cool. That does sound really cool.
I looked at the little
cactopus.
Cactopus. He was staring at me, and I was like, I got it, Cactopus. You're getting a story. And so say we made a Cactopus story fighting the evil roses, and you guys would just straight up get that story, and right behind it would be the bonus episode. That would be me and Tim's journey. So that way you guys can, instead of being spoiled what happens during our stories, you can hear the story right off the bat, and then bam, you get to hear the process right after. Because I feel bad that sometimes because I've told a few people our story ideas, like, what's one of your favorite stories you've made up? And I'll tell them Bergen's Bears, which if you have not heard that one, I would highly recommend. If you haven't heard of our Return the Light, fabulous one as well. But I tell those stories to people and summarize it, and people are like, these are amazing. And I'm like,
I know.
You're not going to feel like that, though, because you're basically going to get spoiled all the good stuff, and then you get the results. So hopefully soon you guys will at least get to hear our fresh story, and then get the episode of me and Tim talking. So expect that soon. Don't know how soon. I'm really hoping before mid-August. So look for that in the next couple weeks. Anyway, Tim.
All right.
That was Willem's business. That was Willem's business stuff. So follow us on all of our social media, and that's it. Okay,
yes,
now
please.
it's Tim's turn.
Yeah.
We want your guys' ideas.
Yes, please give us ideas. This week we have another original story we're gonna write.
This is a Tim original story that he has done.
It's another one that I had some ideas. It is not fleshed out very well. I mean, it's I've got a general beginning, middle, and end,
That's really all I want to work with most of the time.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a fun concept. We've actually hit on this one a couple times in previous episodes, just as ideas. And this time I think we're actually gonna do it. A few episodes ago, I was giving a few ideas of stories that we could do, that we could talk about. And among those, we got Purple Hat. We got
That's the one that
that was a fun story to tell.
I love that one.
We got, I don't remember. There were so many that we talked about, but one of them that Willem was really interested in, and I thought was really fun, was about a person who could manifest things from their dreams. So while they're sleeping, right, they have their dreams, and things would happen in their dreams. Objects would show up in their dreams, and those objects would now appear in real life, being manifested from their dreams. I thought it was a cool concept, and I needed to figure out exactly how I wanted it to work. And over the last little bit, I've been coming up with a few ideas for it, and then I'd let it sit for a day, and then I'd come up with another idea for it, and I would just repeat that process for a week or two until finally I was like, I think I've got something we can work with.
For anyone who is currently stuck on something, a video game, an idea, homework,
Writer's block,
go take a break.
I agree. Go take breaks. That's what's helped me with a lot of these stories that I've come up with, the ideas that I've come up with, that I have ideas for. I can't just sit. I'm not Brandon Sanderson, okay? I can't just sit for 4.5 hours at a time and just write and write.
Do you think he does?
I'm sure he writes even longer when he gets going.
You totally have. You're telling me you don't have. You had that day.
That's true. There are days.
You had that severe ADHD.
There are days
day.
where I can get going. Most of the time I can't. Most of the time I can't sit still for more than 30 minutes unless I'm playing a video game, because that's just how my brain works.
And for you guys sitting here going, well, you guys sit pretty still for this podcast. No, we don't.
No.
Do you not hear the chairs creaking? I'm sorry, I have the most creaky chairs ever. Okay, Tim, we get. Oh, Tim! What? Oh, the whole table's gone. We have to end the episode. Anyway, this has gone off on a big, giant rant.
Reeling it back in.
We're talking about dreams.
This story.
The Dream Walker, or Weaver.
This story, I actually wanted to dedicate this story to someone very important to me in my life. My little brother, Alex. He is probably the biggest dreamer that I know. Maybe not, actual sleep dreams, but just the ideas and the things that he imagines. He is one of the most creative people I've ever met. I would call him a real dreamer. So I am going to dedicate this story to you, baby brother. And as part of this dedication, I would like to name the main character Alex.
No, absolutely not. I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry. It's happening.
Oh, dang it. Absolutely not. Just kidding. That's awesome. Yeah.
I'm actually also...
I think Alex is a great name for a main character.
It is.
It's common enough.
And a dreamer.
It's a good one.
So here's to you, baby brother. My idea is fairly simple. I mean, it feels very standard for a story like this. It feels like it would be pretty standard. You've got the main character, Alex, and then you've got his best friend, and then an antagonist. I did this without thinking. Don't get mad at me, but the best friend's name is Emma. I didn't do it on purpose. It happened. I had this idea, and then the name came to me, and then I found out that then I learned that you had a good friend named Emma. Anyway.
Oh, that's a message to your brother. I was so confused. Like, what's going on?
No, I'm talking to my brother.
Okay. Cute.
the idea that I have is I want this movie to start bizarre. I want it to just be weird.
Pink elephants.
We'll have pink elephants on parade.
Yes.
We'll see random objects. Maybe a bunch of flowers that don't go together. Maybe a key or something, or well, actually, definitely a key because that's important later. Floating off into the void. A hat or two, maybe a mug, just a bunch of little stuff like that. Maybe a few board game pieces, like a few chess pieces.
A D20 lands on a 1.
A D20 lands on a 1.
Dang it!
Or it's a 21. It's like
that one number that we all say nice to. Yeah.
Yeah. Just fun, random things that don't exactly make sense, that seem out of place. And a long, stretching hallway with a person standing at the end of this hallway. And we would zoom in slowly through this hallway, and it would hallway will twist and turn and expand and contract, and then we'll come to this kid's face, and it'll be Alex, our main character.
You're imagining your little brother, aren't you?
I am imagining my little brother.
Cute.
Yeah, it'll come to his face where he's sitting there, or standing there staring into this hallway, looking around a little bit, and everywhere he looks, something new and random pops into existence. And we'll hear, muffling. We'll hear a muffled voice for a minute, and then it'll become clearer and clearer. And it'll be Alex's mother saying, "Wake up! It's time for school."
Oh,
kind of cliche, a little bit classic.
Is he late for school?
I wouldn't say late for school. Just it's time to get up and get ready for school.
I've always wanted. Here's a random. If I can just do like a tiny plug. This doesn't have to be anything, but I've always wanted to make a movie with a character waking up from a dream, and this would be perfect. And the song "All Along the Watchtower" by Jimi Hendrix. I'll show it to you after, but it starts off with this just doon, like just this guitar, and I know that was terrible. I also don't want to get sued, but it's a very abrupt beginning, and I imagine him waking up from his mother's thing, looking at his alarm clock, crap, and then it shows him running, and the song is but it's just perfect, because that's what I'm just imagining for Alex, is just waking up late, dang it, and he's like running and trying to make it on the school bus, and the school bus pulls over, and he's like sitting in the back, and the credits are going, and just Jimi Hendrix is just riffing away on his guitar, and you're just like, and he keeps going in and out, and you can see the pink elephants. The psychedelics was big in the 60s, and I imagine that Alex is just sitting there, and he can see remnants from his dream, that weird dream, the dice rolling, the pink elephants, and anyway, I'll show you the song after, and and I guarantee you'll be like, that would be a good beginning to a song about dreaming. So anyway,
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I think that works. And on the bus, right? He could be watching out the window.
Yeah, and he just sees all the things.
He sees all this stuff. Like maybe he sees a car and then it transforms into the pink elephant walking next to him.
Optimus Prime. And he's like, "What?"
Looks up toward the sun, and it's just a D20 with a smiley face on it.
Don't look at me.
Fun stuff like that. I was actually thinking about getting to that part here in a second. The bus would make one final stop before going up to the school, and a couple people would get on, shuffle into the back. One of them would be a young woman his age that they'd make eye contact. They'd both smile at each other, and he'd wave her over to come sit next to him. They'd be talking. Doesn't need to be anything romantic, just friendship. I'm imagining, she sits next to him and she's like, what'd you pull out this time? And he would pull out maybe from his pocket, he'd pull out like a fork that's got like these little like blue swirls on it or something. Something random like that.
Pink elephant lollipop.
You're obsessed with the pink elephants.
I have always, anytime people talk about fever dreams,
mm-hmm.
first thing that comes to my mind will always be pink elephants. I love the Disney movie Dumbo as a little boy. I think Baby Mine is one of the saddest songs in any Disney movie. I think Mrs. Jumbo did not deserve what happened to her. And I think Dumbo is one of the saddest little Disney characters ever.
It really is.
And I know there's like way worse. I know that like some characters lose their siblings, but this baby elephant, a baby. Dumbo is never. He's not even a couple months old by the end of this movie. He doesn't even talk. He's a baby. Mm-hmm. I always will imagine like just the perfect nightmare is always pink elephants because poor little Dumbo just didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
Sorry, if I think about it too much, it makes me like. If I could have a big poster of Dumbo, I would. I love Dumbo. Anyway, so he pulls out this swirling fork and pink elephant popsicle, whatever. Mm-hmm. Why?
Just for fun.
Just for funsies.
Just for funsies.
Just for funsies.
Because I want to establish that, he's been dreaming for years. Like,
okay.
What he dreams up has almost always just manifested itself the material world, in the real world. And so, while he's dreaming and he sees all these random things, I imagine that, like, there's a couple things that, like, he'll like, he'll dream about, and then something will catch his eye in his dream, like, that'll manifest. Something interesting, something weird. So maybe during that initial dream, maybe there's a fork that same blue swirly fork passes by, and his eyes just kind of follow it as his mother tells him to wake up. Maybe before the bus, maybe while he's getting ready, throwing on his clothes and stuff, that fork is sitting on his dresser. So he looks at it for a second, and grabs it and runs.
I do. I imagine he's watching some ripoff of, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, something for this universe, this world, and I imagine they pull out their glowing space sword, they pull it out, and he's dreaming about using one in his dreams. He's saving Emma randomly. He's like, why am I saying whatever? And he's just in one of his dreams, and he wakes up the next day, and he sees one of the swords, like the handle. He goes, oh, and he picks it up, and he flings it out, and it's just a toy. He's like, dang it.
That would be funny.
I just imagine Laurel's like a blaster, like he's watching some Power Rangers spoof, and they're like, assemble, giant blaster ray gun, oh! And he wakes up the next morning and he sees it, oh! And it's just like this big. Uh-huh. It's as big as a mouse. Like, it's just small. Anyway, I just imagine this just... he dreams it, but it's never exactly... Like, he dreams of Scrooge McDuck rip off, and he's like, oh, all the coins, and he wakes up and it's just a crap load of chocolate coins. They're melted underneath him. Sorry.
No, I like it.
He's just covered. No, he's sitting on one. And then people are like, Alex? Oh, sorry.
I like it. It's funny.
I need to stop interjecting. Go.
You're
Tim,
fine.
go.
You are A-okay. I want the bus ride short and sweet. We established that Alex has a really good friend named Emma, and they again, I'm sorry, I didn't do it on purpose. The name. Don't get mad at me.
Alex and Emma, they're common names. They're nice names.
They are. But yeah, so they would they would get to school and they'd be in class, and then Alex is daydreaming, teacher's talking, and while she's writing on the board with a marker, the marker continues off the board and starts drawing like this ocean landscape thing, and there's a big boat, maybe a pirate ship or something that's sailing across, and
it's now animated like a chalkboard or a whiteboard.
And so, maybe it's coming towards him, and then the teacher, again, classic classroom in a movie.
Calvin and Hobbes.
Actually, yes, exactly what I'm going for. Where maybe the teacher is the pirate captain, and she'd have a big flowy hat or big wavy pirate hat with the big red feather sticking out of the top of the parrot. Maybe the parrot's head is one of the other students in the class.
It's the principal.
It's the teacher's pet.
You have to establish him being all, what about our assignment from last time? And Alex is like, dang it!
Yeah.
And then that's funny.
Yeah.
Do you want us to turn in our assignment now? And he's like, oh, teacher's pet. And then in the dream, assignment!
I love it. But yeah, we'd have that, and then the captain, captain teacher, it looks at him and is like, answer this problem, Alex, getting louder and louder. Teacher yells at him, Alex, answer the problem on the board. Are you paying attention? And he would look at the board, and it's the pirate ship is gone, but maybe in the corner of the chalkboard, sitting on how or the whiteboard, how the whiteboards, they have the little metal strip that you set the markers on.
Yeah.
I'm imagining on the very corner of one is just a really tiny pirate ship, and nobody notices it but him.
The teacher, when she leaves for the day, puts on the giant hat like it's nothing, and he's like, huh?
Yeah. Or maybe just the big red feather.
The big red feather's just
sitting on her desk.
In her desk, and she's like, what is this?
Where'd this come from?
It looks like a parrot feather. That's the kid. I imagine he gets waken up like Calvin and Hobbes. Like, I imagine she doesn't, like the captain's like, alright, Alex, man the cannons, they're firing. Alex, man the cannons, and then boom, the ship gets hit, and it's her slamming a book down. Alex, answer the question. And he's like, why? So, I know what it's like to be interrupted from daydreaming. I know what it's like to...
I do too.
We both
Tell me about it.
Uh-oh. This movie's gonna make me... This story's gonna make me...
But yeah, I like to think that, they'd get out of class, maybe I think the big red feather on the desk, on her desk, just sitting there.
She goes to sit down. What the? And no, she goes, and pulls out the feather from her chair. What the?
Where'd this come from?
Where'd that come from?
This isn't a feather chair.
That looks like a parrot feather. The kid leaves. Stupid teacher's pet.
I think that would be that's just a very good scene to have to showcase. Okay, the things in his dreams are also here in the real world, but not everything. What's going on, kind of thing. And then we'd have the next class, and maybe he's sitting next to Emma in this class, and he starts to daydream a little bit, and she shakes him and is like, no, not right now, not during a test. Something like that, just to show that she knows what's going on a little bit.
Ooh. Yeah, they're taking the test, and he's writing, and it's starting to go, and you see her fling something, and
maybe she smacks her pencil and it flies into the side of his head. I was like, oh. Teacher's like, what's going on?
Miss Emma, what was that? Nothing, teacher, I'm sorry.
I dropped my pencil, I'm sorry.
Did you drop it across the room at Alex? No. Yeah, we don't need it, because I was about to ask, do we want her to get super in trouble, or is it just, she's just so used to this, she just knows how to handle it? Yeah. I think that's a perfect way to show it. Teacher walks by, and I like the pencil idea. Smacks one of her pencils.
Because, how many of you listening in high school, middle school, elementary school, whatever, had a pencil, stuck it on the edge of your desk, and just where a small section of it was sticking off, and you just karate chop the end, and so it goes flying across the room.
I could totally see her doing that. That'd be perfect.
How many of you have done that? Because I've done it.
It'd be hilarious though if she's mastered it so well that she sees him mid-test, pulls out, and it's all busted, and it's called the Alex pencil. and she even has it like measured, and we're seeing her bring it to the point, and it says hit here, bink, and it just and lands perfectly and wakes him up. So it just, and he's like, oh, and he just, and then and the pencil rolls over. Stop dreaming. It lands perfectly. Just looks over at her.
And she's just working on it.
She's just continuing her test.
Yes, I like it.
Mr. Alex, is there a problem? No. Dreaming again, Mr. Alex? No. What if his last name is Dreamer?
Nah. No, I think he can have just a standard name like Jones or something.
Mr. Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
Knew an Alex Jones.
I also knew an Alex Jones.
We'll just call with it.
Sure. Smith works. Alex Smith.
He just has a generic name.
I don't know. A generic last name. It doesn't have to be anything special.
I think that's perfect. Sometimes you just have to have, and he could even say that at the beginning of the narration of the movie. Or maybe he's complaining to Emma. He's like, I'm just Alex, generic as can be. And Emma's just like, what? No. Who pulls stuff out of dreams? Oh, so but we're just setting up that he pulls stuff out of dreams. So my question is, what's your goal for this story then?
My goal for the story is to have there's going to be two main problems that Alex will have to face. One is some of the things in his dreams are bigger than others and more dangerous. So maybe he's imagining, maybe he's dreaming about a dragon, and all of a sudden there's a dragon in the real world. It'd be smaller than massive, city killing machine, but it just appears and it's breathing fire at people, and the military has to come in and they shoot it down, and
But it's do they puff away?
I imagine so. Maybe I don't know.
Okay, so I guess the question is, you mentioned a protagonist.
Antagonist.
Oh, antagonist, sorry.
Bad guy. My thought is there is a scientist who keeps tabs. He's noticed all the weird randomness that pops up around the town sometimes. Like maybe, pull a page from Gravity Falls, water tower just walks away. Something like that, And it's weird oddities that don't happen very frequently, but this scientist, Dr. Victor, I don't know, Dr. Victor Kane or something. I think that was the name I wrote down. Is it? Dr. Victor Kane, yes.
Victor Kane. I like that.
Sounds like a bad guy name.
Oh, well, now I want Alex's last name to be Abel.
Anyway, Dr. Kane would be super intrigued by this because maybe he's he's a scientist who studies oddities, and I want him to notice all these strange things happening around this town, and he's putting pieces together over the last several years, and he's doing all the triangulation on this little map of the town, and he's like, okay, this happened here, this happened here, this happened here, this happened here. They intersect at this point, at this household. And it would be Alex's home. Dr. Victor Kane would be the guy, he would be a guy who is like, this is an incredible power that if you learn to harness it, you can do great things for humanity and for me. He wants to be a little selfish with it. If you can manifest gold, then I can be rich. You manifest a big house that my name is on the mortgage papers and everything. I'll let you live there. I'll let you clean the house. I'll let you do your thing there. He wants to be very selfish with it. He wants Alex to manifest things for him, for his gain. and partway through, almost like, have you seen the Sonic movie? The Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
No.
First one? Okay. It's actually a decent movie.
That's what I've heard. That's kind of what Eggman always. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, Dr. Eggman in that movie is he's he is Dr. Victor Kane essentially, very interested in these weird things happening, and he's obsessed with Sonic the Hedgehog and wanting to capture him and all of that. And so I would imagine that Dr. Victor Kane is very similar, where he comes in with all this specialty equipment, and all of these wires are hooked up to Alex for quote unquote tests that really let Dr. Victor Kane manipulate the dreams a little bit.
I just imagine Alex is in a vat. Is he like in a vat, like a Darth Vader type crap vat?
No, I'm imagining he's in like almost like a CT machine, or like the machines for an MRI.
Man, I was thinking much darker, like almost like the thing they put criminals to sleep on.
No, I'm imagining it's more like more medical style.
Maybe that's how it starts.
Maybe.
And then he gets worse because Alex is trying to get away, so they, fully put him on in one of those chambers and go, oh man, that'd be scary. Okay. So I'm guessing so you mentioned you had two ideas, one for a younger audience, one for older. Is this the younger?
This is the younger. The older audience, it would be he's an older, or a young man, my age, your age, somewhere in between us.
You call me old Tim?
By 6 years.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
Okay, cool.
I mean, you're approaching 30.
Oh gosh. I have 11 months.
You're a little more than that. 11 and a half.
Yeah, 11 and a half. Anyway, it's fine.
More than that. Anyway, yeah, I'm imagining the older audience. He's a little bit older, and I'm imagining a slightly different story for that one. And I'll touch on that one a little bit later tonight. Before Dr. Kane comes in, I want Alex to have a few, maybe another day or two at school, another couple nights where he's manifesting things, and that's when something big will show up. It could be a dragon. It could be the water tower thing, and the news. They're just chalking it up to some eccentric scientist or some inventor whose inventions are going wrong. I don't know, stuff like that. I thought maybe one of the big crazy things could be like a fire breathing gorilla. Just something totally weird, like spaceships, like UFOs.
So maybe they're getting worse.
That's
what I've been imagining is like, because at the beginning you're like, how old is Alex?
I'm thinking 16, my brother's age.
Okay. So when he was 15, maybe it started manifesting then. One day he woke up and there was because you said they were like smaller, he literally dreamed of like these mushroom people. And he woke up one morning and one of them is on his chest going, oh, bye. And then like disappeared like really fast. Like it was just gone. But now they're like starting to get more and more eccentric. Mm-hmm. See, I imagine it'd be hilarious if he's daydreaming about his teacher with the pirate hat, and in the middle of the lesson, she's like actually has the pirate hat and water's busting through the door, and he's like, what is happening? And she's like waking him up, and he's like, when we look at Alex, he's like, his eyes are rolled back and he's halfway through. Like it's almost like fits. Like imagine he's starting to have like dream fits.
No, I think it would be more he's just daydreaming. Okay. He just daydreams a lot.
Man, I'm sorry. I make things very dark. I'm sorry.
You do. You do.
I immediately imagine him like
I think for this story I want to keep it more targeted toward the a younger audience, just cuz dedicated to my little brother. He's a younger kid. So he doesn't need the dark and gritty.
No, you're right. So it could still be getting worse, though.
No, I agree. I think it's getting worse, and I think maybe, there's a couple things where a couple times where maybe he manifests like a car inside the school, and it's like everyday something. It's usually small, like the feather, or like maybe a couple spiders on the teacher's pet's back. People start freaking out because they're big spiders or something.
You have a bunch of ants on your back. Actually, these are... Anyways. Stuff like that.
But what I want is Dr. Victor Kane comes in after this big something. Maybe it's a UFO. Maybe it's a UFO. And that way, there's a ton of people showing up, and they're like, we got the news, we got the military, we've got FBI, we've got all sorts of people, and Dr. Kane just, he's sitting there off to the side doing his own thing because he's not a part of any of these organizations, and they all do their research, and they chalk it all up to some eccentric scientist or inventor or something. Maybe in this town there's an old man McGucket. If you don't catch that reference, go watch Gravity Falls. It's worth watching.
Worth watching, indeed.
Maybe there's someone like that where he's just kind of just a weirdo who likes creating dumb little things. Just a side character that could be used as kind of the scapegoat.
It's old man McGucket again, isn't it? I didn't do that this time.
Not this time.
Sees a little tiny green man go underneath his cloak or something. That wasn't mine. What was that? Nothing. Yeah.
I'd have all the military and the FBI and all of them. They would leave, disappointed because it's not an actual UFO. It's just some crazy guy who got them with his magnets and remote controlled drones and stuff.
So would the stuff change back?
I don't know what would happen to it. Like maybe it just stays. Maybe the stuff just stays, and like the water tower is still walking around.
The water tower walks away.
I love the water tower idea because of Gravity Falls. I think it's just hilarious.
I think it works.
It does.
I just think that maybe like with the fork, he was going to show her, I mentioned the pink elephant thing, or something. Like it was a little spaceship, like it was a little rocket ship. And he goes, and she goes, that's a very pretty fork. Dang it changed back. And then like the feather was her pointer. She goes to point at something on the board. The teacher goes to point to something, and she picks up the feather instead. She goes, what the? And then later on, it turns back, and she's like, oh, what's going on? So, like, things just fade. So nothing stays permanent. They just, he wakes up one morning, all his action figures are running around as, like, total, like one of those Power Ranger scenes I was talking about, and they're, like, having a full-on yeah moment, and there's an explosion in his bedroom, like, whoa, everyone calm down, and then they change back to his other toys, and he's like, oh. But now, stuff's getting bigger, and it's not going away. Aliens are picking up the cows somewhere, and they're like, no! Water tower, is just gallivanting, like, oh, I'm frolicking! And like, oh, he's frolicking.
Yes.
Shoot it down. They're doing the AT-AT, they're tripping it. Oh, you guys tripped me! And then it turns back into the water tower after they defeated it.
It just explodes.
Just explodes.
Water flies everywhere.
Oh, dearie me, I spilled all my water! And then just turns back to normal. I'm melting! What a wonderful world! What a world! He does the Wilhelm scream as he falls. Ah! That was not a good Wilhelm scream.
No, it was not.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to throw out... Because I know that might be frustrating to come up with stuff, and I just don't want people to go, why this stuff well? Anyway, sorry.
It's all ideas.
I'm just regurgitating.
That's how these stories are made. Is we throw out ideas and then we like some of them, and we use some.
See
of
if
them.
they stick. Ugh, it's sticky. I do like this Dr. Kane though. I think he's I do imagine like a Mr. Crocker from Fairly Odd Parents type character. That's like what I've been imagining. Like, he's got a little hunch, and he's got he's twiddling his hands like some fly all the time.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, fairy godparents.
Uh-huh.
That's how I imagine him in my head, like a mixture of him and Eggman.
I've just been imagining him as, Jim Carrey's Dr. Eggman from Sonic.
That works too.
Like he just seems. I feel like he would be maybe not quite as eccentric as Jim Carrey, but he's a little bit eccentric, and he wants to. He wants to do his thing.
With this boy, I could solve world hunger. I could help stop the wars. I could get that big house I've always wanted.
I could be rich.
I could be rich. Maybe Mother could get off my back.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I could get a wife. Dream me a wife. What? He like imagines a female, just him in a dress walks in. Hi, good looking.
Uh-huh.
He goes, oh, I can't imagine anything for. And he goes quiet, and then he just walks out in a dress. Hey, handsome, and he goes, you're gorgeous. Sorry.
It's just straight up narcissus.
Yeah. Sorry. I think that would be like the perfect for this scene. She disappears. No! Darth Vader moment. No!
Yes.
Anyway, so how would he figure out he'd figure out by Alex by triangulating all the anomalies. I'm totally imagining Crocker moment. Mm-hmm. Like a whiteboard and a computer, he's tapping away. If I triangulate all of these weird experiences, it goes to this location! Like something like that. And then, does he just knock on his door, or?
Yeah, I think he shows up, and, Alex's mom will answer and be like, and some conversation will happen, or maybe conversation off screen. Alex is called into the living room, and
he and Emma are doing homework.
He and Emma are doing homework.
Hey Alex, can you come downstairs, please? Yeah, they go down the stairs, and then you just see Mr. And I'm imagining Jim Carrey hunched over.
I will admit, I have been imagining Jim Carrey this whole time.
I totally can see it now, just hunched over, Crocker style. Oh, this must be Alex. I don't know why he talks like that, but that's what he does. Just imagine.
Mr. Burns.
Mr. Burns. Oh, that's even excellent. It'd be fine.
But yeah, he'd be called downstairs, and they would, his mom would say, this man he knows.
Oh, so his parents know.
I think, his mom knows.
Oh, okay. No dad. There's no dad. It's a Percy Jackson moment.
Kind of. Yes, his dad exists. It's not. He didn't go for milk. There's another thing. We'll see the dad later.
Oh.
Yeah. He didn't go to get cigarettes and not come back.
Is he also a Dreamweaver?
You just have to wait and see.
Okay, fine. Flips the table. I'm leaving. Because now I'm excited.
I have a pretty fun idea for the dad.
Okay.
I think. And Dr. Kane will introduce himself to Alex, and Alex will be like, okay. I don't really care.
What do you want me to do?
What do you want? I can't control it. And then Dr. Kane would be like, well, I want to help you control it, and I want to help you figure out how to focus on certain things and manifest things that you want to manifest. That kind of thing. And the conversation would go,
how would you like to be able to control it?
Yeah.
Help your mother out. Help you out. You can save the world.
He would genuinely, I think at the beginning, he would genuinely want to help Alex so that Alex can help the world.
When he really sees that Alex is starting to get a hold of it, and he starts suggesting, like, make $1 million. And that's when Alex starts getting suspicious. But he starts off small. He's like, make a bicycle. And then Alex thinks about it, and it's like a silly, like, Pee Wee Herman bicycle.
Uh-huh.
No, think of, like imagine this, and he, like, pulls him a picture, and Alex is all strapped in the MRI thing. He's like, He's eating popcorn and stuff in it. It's like,
Manifests a giant piece of popcorn.
Oh. Well, no, and he's like, I want a hamburger. Oh, and starts eating it. Like, what the heck? Where did you pull that from? Where does it go? Does it just disappear off of someone's plate? And he's like, well, I made a dragon, so I don't think it... You made a dragon? Yeah, I made a dragon. Don't you... How could that get pulled out?
That was you, because he would know about it.
Yeah.
Dr. Kane would know about the dragon.
Yeah, he'd know about the dragon. He goes, no, because he would like be like, maybe they go from other places. And then Dr. K would go, dragon. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some man's about to take a bite of a burger and gone. What the? And Alex just, it's delicious.
This is giving me vibes of, like, you know how
it's giving me
couple weeks ago I was telling you about the one story that I started to write.
Yeah, I was just about
the conjuration.
Yeah, I was just about to
magic
bring that
system. Up. I think it would be different from that. I think this is just straight up. Whatever he dreams becomes real. This isn't conjuring. This isn't teleporting an object from one space to another.
Yeah.
This is like full-on creation kind of thing. Manifestation.
I feel like... Well, I don't feel like Alex can be awake, though. So he has to keep putting him in and out of sleep.
I think the daydreaming thing, right? Because when you daydream, you're imagining things. Like, I've straight up... When I was imagining that first scene in my one book... with the guy on the horse.
That's true.
Riding, and there was, the giant magical shield above him as a boulder flew into it and crashed into it while the horse kept going.
Like the Walter Mitty.
I saw that in my mind's eye. I saw the horse running, and I'm imagining it's something like that.
Kind of like Walter Mitty scenes. Those few.
Yes.
Have you seen Walter Mitty?
I haven't, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh my goodness.
I do know what you're talking about.
Everyone should watch that movie. It's in my top 50 for sure. So... Alex is just kind of daydreaming, but he's starting to get to the point where he can just imagine it. It's just imagination now. Like Harold and the Purple Crayon.
So. Because, okay, here's what I'm imagining from this.
Huh.
Your imagination is what fuels your dreams.
Yeah.
Right? The idea that your brain, while you're asleep... has full reign over what you see, what you experience while you're asleep. A very large portion of that comes from imagination. I mean, obviously, there's a few things while you're dreaming that aren't imagination; it's memory. I've had a few dreams where I see a memory, and it's altered because my brain is stupid sometimes, and not stupid. It's creative, and it likes to change things. But like, I've seen things that have happened to me before in a different light, or I've seen completely new things happening to people that I know, stuff like that. And all it is imagination, while a lot of the SpongeBob imagination a very large portion of imagination, your imagination can be considered dreams.
So he has Alex like in the MRI thing, or at least hooked up to stuff. I imagine he has a bunch of like.
Have you ever gotten a sleep test?
No.
Okay, I had a sleep test when I was younger.
He's hooked up to Cerebo.
When I was younger, I had a sleep test because we were trying to figure out why I was having such a hard time sleeping. I still have a hard time falling asleep sometimes.
Tim, are you an insomniac?
I am a little bit. Yes.
High five.
And when I got hooked up to that, or when I went in to the facility for that, I had a bed set out for me, and I was hooked up to a bunch of. They had a little a bunch of little almost like suction cups.
Yeah,
that's what I've been. To my forehead and
thinking.
The side of my head, and I had a few on my chest. And I can't remember where the other, if there were any others. Maybe one on my arm. I can't remember everything. That was a really long time ago. But that's kind of what I'm imagining. is that. Like you see that kind of thing in a lot of movies.
I imagine a big empty warehouse. A big empty warehouse full of white tiles for some reason, closed off to the outside light, and it's just right in the middle of this big warehouse is him. He goes, all right, let's have at it, because then nothing gets messy, whatever, it's fine. And he's like, go away, dream. And Alex is just like,
that's not how it works.
that's not how it works. He's like, well, think of something. And he's like, I need I don't know, what would he like? Would he need like stimulation? Would he be like, I just imagine, or actually, he's going off like, well, there's many wonderful things that we could do to help stimulate you. We can, and immediately
Alex just starts zoning out.
And a whale appears in the middle of the room.
No, it would be more something like, maybe it's
I imagine a crudely drawn cutout person of Professor walks in.
No, here's what I just saw.
Okay,
is it would be a nod to what if we cast Jim Carrey for this role, he'd be talking, and Alex would kind of like, and then his face would start, Dr. Crane's face would start turning green. And his teeth would get bigger and whiter, and we would just see the mask. We'd see Jim Carrey's The Mask, and
smoking.
Yep, exactly. Never seen the movie, but I've seen a lot of.
You've never seen The Mask?
There's a lot of movies I haven't seen. Okay.
Good gravy.
I have not.
Zach, I now see why you're so funny. Just kidding.
Ouch.
Jeez, you guys, man. Or maybe I just watch way too much TV. It's because of my 6 years of life more than you, I guess.
Anyway, that's kind of what I saw in my head. If it wasn't Jim Carrey, it'd be someone else.
I'm not going back.
We've done this so much.
That's staying in. The ambulance just came by. Anyway, so I
something.
I think the scene in just a big warehouse.
I think it would be something small to start. Something smaller, simple, and maybe not The Mask because the copyright. etc. If we get permission, it'd be funny.
It would be funny. He just starts. He could even start changing Dr. Wow, I'm terrible with names.
Dr. Kane.
Dr. Kane's clothes on him. Like he just starts doing the dun 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 dun.
It's the yellow mariachi suit.
Yeah, exactly. Like he just starts doing that. And he's like, and he doesn't even notice. And he goes, yeah, you just gotta like let your emotions go. And he's like going, turns to like a salsa dancer, and all of a sudden there's a conga line of just him. And he's like, yeah, it's awesome. And he goes, so what is that? And then it all disappears when he focuses again. And he goes, so, can you do it? And he goes,
maybe he's still wearing the suit.
And he goes, Take it, I imagine Jim Carrey, because I can just looks down.
Yes.
And he goes, this is not a flattering color on me.
Yes. Love it. Perfect.
I just think of that big white room, and he's expecting these big grand gestures. Nope, a bunch of gestures come in. Well, Your Majesty, we'll get you cheering up right away. No. Gesture. Whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The word, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Not court gestures, I promise.
Well, it's more like he's Dr. Kane is imagining that Alex can create all of these magnificent wonders like the dragon, the water tower, the big, maybe the fire-breathing gorilla, whatever. All of these crazy things. You've done it before. Do it again. Come on. This is a safe place. We can take care of it right here. We got this. And what actually happens is not what he's expecting. Nothing big. It's just, it's all small, simple stuff. Maybe I like the idea of the mariachi suit. Maybe Alex imagines a spaceship, and all of a sudden there's a little Mars rover.
Pikmin, the little Pikmin.
Little Pikmin, yeah.
The little
yeah.
Pikmin spaceship type thing. So maybe the big stuff happens when Alex sleeps. Sometimes, not a lot, but that's usually when he has nightmares.
Well, because think about it this way: when you have a dream, you're essentially giving your brain free reign to do whatever the heck it wants, to show you whatever it wants.
Yeah.
So like I've had dreams where the three-headed dog Fluffy from Harry Potter is terrorizing my baby brother, not Alex. This would have been Ben. When I was really little, I had that was a recurring dream. I saw that several times. Fluffy terrorizing my little brother. It was terrifying. I've had other recurring dreams where I live on a blimp. That's
awesome.
That one's a fun recurring dream, and it happens more frequently than any other dream. And I think it's because I love the movie Up so much, because it is the spirit of it. The Spirit of Adventure, or whatever the blimp is called. And I've had you have these recurring dreams and nightmares, and you in some of your dreams you'll have these big huge things, maybe a giant fee fi fo fum nonsense happening in your dream, and it's big stuff. But when you daydream, your imagination is running wild, but you're still semi-grounded into reality, and so your imaginations aren't as intense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so that's why I'm wondering.
I'm not a psychologist. I'm not an expert on dreams. Don't quote me on that. That's just something I've noticed.
Yeah.
For me personally.
I feel like there are some times where I daydream and it gets so intense I'm basically out of reality. I think that there could be a few times.
I've had a few of those.
Yeah. The
horse, the guy on the horse, for example.
The man with the horse with no name, like your awesome character, shooting back the fireballs. That totally happens to people. So now I'm just curious, like, what? Because I feel like dreams would be a bigger deal. Like, it would be hilarious if, like, Alex wakes up and it's like, the water tower ran away today. Dang it, that was real. Like, like, he's like, dang it. Like, it's sad because he never gets to experience these. But I feel like when he wakes up, it goes back to normal. Like, the water tower just falls over.
Maybe. I kind of like the idea that it's always permanent.
If it's a daydream. Maybe those ones. And maybe that's what the issue is with this one, is his daydreams are starting to... I don't know. I'm trying to make limits and things here so that the story has some... I don't want to say levity, but like...
Some reality,
like scales. We have checks and balances to this kind of stuff. Like, I'm trying to feel like what would make the audience go, okay, I can start to feel the severity, because I imagine that the doctor is he's getting angry, and we're starting to see his true colors, because he wants this, he wants to control it, and he starts to sedate. And I know this is centered toward kids, but you can have movies that get a little bit... I don't want to go too heavy, so I think...
E.T.
Yeah, E.T.'s pretty heavy. I don't care what you guys think.
It is a very good kids movie.
But it's heavy.
It is very heavy.
It gets heavy. I don't care what people say. I haven't seen E.T. for over 10 years, and I know that if I do, I will cry.
It's a very good movie.
It's a great movie. Fantastic movie.
If you haven't seen it, it's older than me. Watch it.
Oh, it's older than me. It was made in the 80s. It's old. I think it's like Back to the Future old.
He's a Jedi.
Yeah.
That's a conversation for another day.
That's another one. So I feel like we can get pretty heavy. I feel like...
Yes.
Like, I imagine he clamps Alex down, like I said, in a chair, like, with restraints at one point. I imagine restraints at one point, and it's starting to be a bigger deal. Like, and his mom at least, is trying to get through, and now that the government has seen, and maybe Dr. Kane...
I do like the idea. Maybe...
Does he have henchmen? Like, how is he getting...
I think it's just him. Honestly, I think it's just him and just the way he's just so. It's Jim Carrey. He's so charismatic. It probably wouldn't actually be Jim Carrey.
But just imagine
But like someone
archetype of Jim
Yes,
Carrey.
someone who is as charismatic as Jim Carrey.
Ooh, the older brother from iCarly.
I never watched iCarly.
Wow, for anyone who's seen
I
iCarly.
didn't watch Disney Channel growing up.
That's Nickelodeon.
Or Nickelodeon watching up. The closest I got to Nickelodeon was Avatar: The Last Airbender on disc.
Okay, fine.
We didn't have cable.
Jeremy Trainer, he's pretty eccentric. I'll have to show you a few clips of him. I could see him as a scientist. He'd be really funny as this character. It would be weird. Okay, so it's just a scientist in this big, or at least in a hideout. I'm guessing his mother doesn't know where the hideout is. Somehow convinced him, like, how would he keep him there?
I think the mom is there, and the scientist, Dr. Kane is like, you can come and watch to keep an eye on your son. I'm happy to have you there if it makes you feel better. All I want to do is run a few tests, and I want to help maybe train him to figure out how to control what's going on.
Maybe he can make his own henchmen.
Maybe.
Through Alex. I just imagine there has to be something pressing. So when he starts getting selfish and wanting to use Alex for his powers, how does he keep Alex there, and how does he keep him? How does he keep, like, Emma and his mom from, like, kicking down the door? Or the police? Like, anyway.
I feel like it would be more, like, blackmail. Like, he'd say, if you tell anybody about what's going on, your family will be removed from the equation, and it will be just me and you, kind of thing.
And also, he'll probably just expose Alex. Like,
yeah.
Really, like, what? How are you going to
I
here?
will show the world what you really are, what you can do, and they will tear you apart.
And you think I'm bad? You think I'm the villain here? I'm just a man helping you trying to get this better, and I just want a few things from you from it. But if anyone else, the government, figures this out,
you're going to be an experiment for the rest of your life.
You think they'll ever let you? Do you think they'll ever let you wake up again? That would be a scary line.
That's terrifying.
He would never. They wouldn't. They would just keep Alex sedated.
Yeah, they would.
And just sleep, and they would just feed him tubes.
Yeah.
Maybe he even says that at the beginning, like, I just want to help Alex before someone bigger figures out, and we have Alex hooked up, and he never wakes up again. And Alex, for a split second, goes, "That'd be nice." Sleep all day. Oh, that'd be nice. Emma and his mom at the same time smack him. Mm-hmm. Like the little, like, the back of the head, like, smack. He's like, oh, never mind, that's bad. Mm-hmm. Never go to school again. Nice!
Yeah. I do want him to confide in Emma, talk to her about, the training's going good. I can kind of control things sometimes when I really want something. Like maybe at this point she asks him how it's going, and he's like, I can summon a cheeseburger. She's like, do it now, and he's like, but I'm not hungry, but a cheeseburger, but maybe a shake.
Maybe a shake
instead.
instead.
Chocolate shake.
And then a shake appears.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't want it. I want, like, pizza. Oh, pizza. Oh, a big pizza from New York. This one place my dad took me. It just appears. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
yeah. Stuff like that. And it's just, they're in his room, and so, it's safe, nobody else around. And maybe Emma is a little concerned. How is Dr. Kane? Is he a good guy? What? And then Alex would kind of get quiet, and like, he's helping me figure out how to control it. And he just kind of leaves it at that. And she's like, but is he a good guy? Is he a good man? Is he nice? Like, thinks about. He's thinking,
like,
he just
flashes to Dr. Kane, and just, like, Dr. Kane's like, like, yammering as he's drawing all this stuff on her board. He goes, Yeah, I think he's fine. He's fine.
The writing that Dr. Kane's doing, it's just random scribbles, and the scribbles appear on Alex's wall.
He's having the conspiracy type thing. He has all the dots circling to Alex. He's like looking back, and he's just like, whoa, that'd be scary.
Alex would be forced into sleep, like a deep sleep, no longer imagining. Like, he's at this point, he is figuring it out. He's slowly starting to figure it out, but it's not big enough. It's not perfect yet. So Dr. Kane wants to try sleep, and so he sedates Alex with a heavy sedative, like horse tranquilizer level, and so Alex is just knocked out. Deeper sleep than he's ever been before. In this sleep, Alex would be standing in the warehouse alone, and things will be popping up. Things that he's created before are popping up. The dragon, maybe. We'll see the pizza, the shake, the cheeseburgers. Maybe it's like a pile of cheeseburgers, like a small pile of cheeseburgers.
The conga line of Dr. Kane's is just going off.
The fork, and I want him to look down at a little key sitting on the ground, just really old, classic, rustic key with the two prongs.
Yeah,
and he leans down and picks it up, and across the room would be a box, a locked box. And so Alex would walk over to it with the key, see that the key kind of matches. The key hole matches the size of the key, sticks it in, unlocks it. The key kind of, vanish into pink fairy smoke or whatever.
The ether.
And this box would expand, very dreamlike. The box would expand, covering the whole, or filling the whole room. The door opens, and inside is a man sitting in a chair, and this would be Alex's dad. And Alex would be like, "What is going on?" And maybe in his home, we've seen pictures of Alex's dad when Alex was really little, like toddler, barely walking age. And I want Alex to approach his dad and
is this real?
And his dad would say, yeah, it's me. And then the reveal would be that when Alex was really little, his dad discovered that Alex had these powers, the same powers that his dad had, and that his dad was a dream weaver himself. You did guess it. Everybody guessed it. But in order to protect Alex, maybe government was hunting his dad down or something. In order to protect him, he had to hide himself within his dreams. He had to banish himself to within his own dreams, into the dream world.
Can I throw just a lifeline here? Not a lifeline, but can I throw in a selfish thing and say, can we have and we can make this into a sequel, the Dreamwalker man, Freddy Krueger type dude, he's what's chasing his dad. And that's what he was running away from. Maybe. There's an evil something out there.
Maybe it was Dr. Kane.
Could be Dr. Kane.
Maybe it was Dr. Kane, and this was the break that Dr. Kane found. Maybe they'd moved to this town, changed identities and stuff so that Dr. Kane wouldn't find them. And because his dad hadn't gotten good at controlling what came out of his dreams.
So his dad's just been stuck in Alex's little dreamscape?
Maybe in all of the dreams we see his dad just like a figure way off in the distance in his dreams. It could be the box. Could be the box.
He always sees a box.
Yeah, we always see the box. I like that.
But he's never gotten to see the key.
I think we've seen... I like the idea that we've seen the key or the box. Never both in the same dream. Until now.
Or maybe he's woken up from dreams all the time, and because he'll get the key and he's like, and he'll like maybe the beginning of the movie is him going to open the box with the key, and he wakes up, and every time he like gets closer to him, and then he realizes that like and maybe it can be like someone shakes him awake. We see just two hands shake him, and it's his dad every time. His dad just doesn't let him. Maybe a door. It's a door.
It's a door.
Opens the door. His dad. His dad ran away into the dream world, and he's like, "You can do that?" Because maybe he just manifested a door, and just went in, and boom, bang, bam.
Yeah,
he ran away.
I like that. And then maybe.
Do you think these dream burgers taste good in your dreams? They don't. They're not that good. I need real food. This stuff gets boring after a while. All I can make is this, and it's burgers. I don't know.
Imagine something healthier than just a burger.
Alex gives him a salad. Oh, and he eats it.
I think the conversation between him and his dad. His dad is now stuck in the dream world. He can't get out, and Alex hasn't mastered the ability to dreamweave enough to create the door for him to come back. You know, he's got to get more powerful, but he's got to be really careful about Dr. Kane, because Dr. Kane is the one that was hunting down his dad after, you know, he did the same thing with his dad, tried to help him learn his powers so that he can manifest stuff for Dr. Kane, for his gain, and he ran away.
Maybe everything that he was telling about, like you'll get locked up in a facility, you'll blah blah blah, like everything that he said the government would do, that's what Dr. Kane was doing to his dad.
I like that idea.
Everything, like, it goes back and say Dr. Kane was part of the government. Dr. Kane was trying to figure out what was inside me. He was trying to figure out this gene or anything, because Dr. Kane wants what we have. If Dr. Kane could figure out how to imagine if you can just manifest whatever you want.
Imagine if everybody could do it.
Yeah. And he goes, imagine what people would pay for that. Imagine what, like, son, this is something that's not so. And, like, we have a flashback to his dad hooked up in some, like, kind of what I was talking about earlier. So he's never done this with Alex. It's going to get there, though. Dr. Kane is not as friendly as we think he is. So maybe this whole time we've been thinking, like, oh, he's fun, he's cool, he's dandy. And then when he finally sedates him, that's when Dad comes kicking down the door, or at least the door appears, and he's like, Alex, you gotta get out of here. And, ooh, that could be the turning point of the movie. The turning point of the shift of Dr. Kane. Dr. Kane not only wants, he wants this power. Because who wouldn't? I would want it. I'll be honest, I'm not gonna, like, kidnap a little boy or his dad and whatever, but Dr. Kane is, how old do you think he is?
Dr. Kane?
40s? 50s?
50s.
50s. So
50s,
20 years.
50s
so
or 60s.
He was a young scientist.
I'm imagining him as old as
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
So 60.
Yeah.
So 60s. Okay. Now I'm starting to get something. Like, I'm starting to get, like,
an image.
Like, images going of, like, he really messed up his dad. His dad got out because he manifested, like, something to get it out.
Manifested a dragon.
Manifested, like, yeah, seriously, a dragon came out. He got lucky. He escaped on the run, met your mom. They fell in love. He maybe took, like, pills so that he doesn't dream. He has been doing that for a while, but the second Alex started to manifest, he's like, crap. And maybe one day maybe he just got stuck on accident. It wasn't on purpose.
Yeah, maybe he was dreaming up a place, kind of like the room of requirement in Harry Potter, just a safe place where he can practice.
Yeah, he was like, I was dreaming up, I was going to take us to a safe haven. Like, I was going to make us a paradise, and I had made, and it looks like the childhood home. There's pictures. It's cute because we could see pictures of this old apartment that his parents lived at when he was a little boy. And I'm sure his mom knew, but she never really understood what happened. Mm-hmm. She knew, maybe she didn't know. But she knows, like, Alex has powers, and she's like, I assume your father did, but I don't know. But yeah, I think, like, I was making a safe haven for us, and I got everything, and one day I turned around and the door was gone. And I never got it. I never got out. I've been eating these the whole time. It just shows off the... What have you been living on? Imagination, the rainbow. And then a cheeseburger falls in his hand. Oh. Same noise Alex makes when he imagines a cheeseburger.
Yes, I love it.
He's like, I forgot what everything tastes like. Everything just tastes like cardboard now. And he takes a bite of the pizza, and it's cardboard cheese.
I like it. Yes.
Okay, so when he wakes up, maybe that's when, like, tone shifts. Alex wakes up and he's like, well, today was a good day, doctor, but I think I gotta get going. And immediately, Dr. Kane is showing his true colors now. Immediately, he had him hooked up, and he goes, like, you were having a conversation. Who were you talking to? I was just talking to, I was talking to a little antelope, a talking deer in my in my dream. And Dr. Kane's like, no.
No, there's no antelope.
And maybe that's the connection. Because maybe he changed his name, changed it, and he goes, and Dr. Kane kind of like slams the board across the room. He goes, oh, I see it now. You're his son, aren't you? And Alex's face just drops. And he goes, and now I'm just curious, like, I kind of want Dr. Kane to get the powers in the end. Like, somehow he gets to dream too. Like, he hooks Alex up, and him and his dad work together to trap Dr. Kane in the room.
That was actually exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly how I wanted it. I wanted Dr. Kane to be banished to the dream realm.
So how would they do it? How was your plan? I'm sorry, Tim. I think I totally took over this, and I'm so sorry.
My plan was actually, I want Emma to be a bigger part. I want the mom to play a decent part.
I know, I feel bad. We just forgot them.
Yeah, well, I feel like we're hitting on the important stuff, and then those two can be a part of other in-between stuff.
Yeah.
I want Emma to be a big part.
Of course. She seems like she knows.
She is his best friend. I want her to, help. So I'm thinking she... maybe it's at this point where she walks in and Dr. Kane is yelling at Alex or acting insane because he's figured out that Alex is the son.
Maybe Alex doesn't show up at school the next day.
Yeah.
And immediately she would know.
Yeah, I like
it's
that.
Emma.
Yeah. I think that works.
So does Emma and her mom know that... Does Alex's mom know that Emma knows?
Yes.
Okay, so this isn't a big thing.
No.
I think so. These three.
I feel like Alex's mom would have driven Emma.
We need to have a cute scene of her and him riding a toy Jeep, and it turns into like a pony for a split second in his backyard, and she's like, God dang it. That's when he started to learn. Like, they've been friends since they were like 3 or 4 or 5, like kindergarten. And she was one of the first people to see, like, but he's weird and he's a daydreamer. So it was his 5th birthday, and only Emma came because she liked him. Because he's like, you're weird, I like you, and
Ellie from
Ellie moment, and
Yes.
the birthday party, and during the or they turn the clown into like a vampire or something because he's scary, or Alex is zoned out and he goes, huh, and then the balloon animals start, something like that. Just
balloon animals start talking.
Yeah, cute backstory. Oh, this clown really is something, isn't he? He's stupid. Let's eat him. And they start chasing the clown. Ah! And he starts running away.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I just imagine that would be a cute scene. So Emma figures out Alex is in trouble.
So Emma and the mom go to the warehouse, and just for kicks and giggles, for funsies, I want, they're trying to open the doors and they can't, but Dr. Kane is yelling so loud he can't hear that they're trying the door. So I want the mom to drive straight into I'm imagining like bay doors, like a warehouse for semi trucks.
Oh, I know. I worked in one of those.
Yeah. Drives straight through one of those, ruins the car, but they're in.
Dr. Kane lights out the authentic. Ah!
Yes, they get out, and the mom walks up to Dr. Kane, and she's like, what are you doing to my son? Blah blah blah. She's yelling at him, while Emma is, rushing over to Alex and is unhooking Alex from all the machinery and stuff. I'm not sure exactly how I want it to go, but I want Dr. Kane to basically kidnap Alex and take him to, maybe they escape. The three escape, and Alex is in bed, but they've got maybe Emma's sleeping on the floor, and the mom, maybe the mom and Emma and Alex are all sleeping in the front room, like the living room, where they can keep an eye on him, so that if Dr. King comes running back, then, and maybe there's a police officer or something.
Oh, I imagine the mom is full on in a chair in front of Alex's room, and the two kids are. Emma's not sleeping. Alex is finally trying to get some sleep because maybe this day is. Oh yeah, because this is after shows true colors. Hit him with the horse tranquilizer. He's not giving him the dreams he wants. Anyway, sorry. I'm kind of like trying to catch up what it is. So maybe
I like that. And then Alex falls asleep. I want him to have another conversation with his dad while he's asleep. And I want the dad to explain a little bit more about Dr. Kane. Alex will ask for more information about the powers, but the dad still hasn't quite figured it out, because he lived most of his life trying to avoid it, kind of thing.
His dad wasn't a dreamer.
No, I like that.
Like he
had the powers. He didn't have.
But he just came from a background where they
were very practical.
Dreaming is bad because you can manifest stuff that's not good. Mm-hmm. So don't dream. Like his grandfather, my father taught me to just keep it, but and he can bring up a memory of one day I walk in your room in your crib and there's just all these little tiny birds flying around your baby cage, and you were laughing and having so much fun, and how could I take away your dreaming? But I then knew that I had to build a safe haven so you can dream. And I don't know, I feel like that's...
I like that, because that gives reason.
It gives reason. It gives raisin. Raisins. It gives raisins. I think it gives us something that the dad wasn't a dreamer, but he realized he was going to make a safety bubble for his son to be in. Mm-hmm. But Alex is that's not what I want, because I wouldn't have been able to dream in there. You would have been limited, because look at the room you're in now, Dad. It's limited. You can't limit dreaming. Mm-hmm. Aw.
Can't put limits on dreams.
Can't. You gotta
let your dreams just
let your dreams just be dreams. I don't know. As someone with, sometimes when you're just confined in a little box, especially for anyone who can relate with ADHD, or dare I say people with any, I can't remember the word, neurodivergent issues. Sometimes we are kind of forced to be calm, be chill, and it just doesn't fit us. So
we're forced to think inside the box when
I want to be outside.
Everything inside us wants to be outside the box.
Yes. So it's funny because his dad is an in the box type dude. He literally was going to make a safe place for a bubble for his son to be in, but that defeats the whole purpose of dreaming. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that'd be funny because his dad trapped himself in a safety box on accident. He didn't mean to, but intentionally, that's what his dad wanted, was a place to just be safe, and it trapped him, and that's the issue.
Yeah.
So how? Okay, So now Alex is asleep, talking to his dad. Emma is watching over him. Alex's mother is watching over the door. How is Dr. Kane going to infiltrate and get into the dream?
I think, they're having the conversation, and at this point, Dr. Kane just shows up in the dream, talking while Alex is talking to his dad. And Alex and his dad start freaking out, and then we cut to the outside, and we see, I don't know exactly how I want it, because I don't want it to be, like, super dark or anything, but I also, maybe...
I just imagine just trying, like...
Maybe just tied up.
Tied up and asleep.
Emma and the mom are
They're
tied
just
up
asleep
and
with,
unconscious.
Maybe just blow darts.
Ooh, yeah,
That
work.
would be... I think that's cute
work.
enough that it's, like, not cute enough, but it's safety enough that
Yeah.
mom falls over. Emma hears a thud, and she's like, Mrs. Dreamer? I'm going to say the last name's Dreamer. Or Smith. Was it Smith? That's what we went with?
I think Smith.
Whatever, generic name. Like, Mrs. Smith?
Mrs. Generic name.
Mrs. Generic name walks out, and all of a sudden she's like, what in the and he goes, and he walks by Sweet Dreams and, like, walks in the room, and he pulls out a little...
I'm imagining, like, it almost looks like a radio. Like an old-timey radio.
Huh.
With a bunch of wires coming out of both ends. And he hooks up a bunch to Alex. Again, 2 on the forehead, 1 on each forearm.
Does he put a shot?
No.
Like Inception type? So we're not going the Inception route.
Not the Inception route. I think just the
But I do
suction
imagine
cups.
he's like, I'm too antsy to sleep. He sees he's got one more. Ooh. Ooh. Puts the tranquilizer in his neck. Oh, these do.
But like he's hooked it up to Alex. Maybe he turns on the machine and it starts just like humming.
It's the little wave,
Yeah.
wave things, and he's like, and then he hears the voices of Alex and his dad, and he goes, I got you.
Yeah. Perfect. I like it. And then he hooks it up to himself. And he enters the dream. And
maybe this machine that he has been in the thing this whole time with Alex, and it's been recording frequencies and whatever. And when he finally got, like, when they break him out, we can see the machine is like, and it's like got a perfect like line, and it's giving the audience, it's letting the audience know that this machine has done something, and he goes, perfect, that's all I needed. So, okay. I like it. I like the little radio idea. He's like, and then, bless you. Yeah.
Gosh.
I just like that. And then, okay, and then he appears in the dream.
And then he appears in the dream, and Alex and the dad are both...
What's his dad's name?
I don't know. Generic Mark.
Generic Mark.
Mark, generic name.
I'm getting the name Skylar for some reason. I don't know. I'm going to just call him Skylar. I just imagine just Skylar, and I imagine someone goes...
That's a little weird. That's my stepdad's name.
Oh, good gravy. Jeez.
Yeah.
You know what? Are you okay with that?
Sure.
Well, just for now.
That works.
For now. But the name, like, that's funny. I was like, I'm just going to say Skylar. And I swear if Tim knows somebody with that name, it's just meant to be.
I know a couple people, but that's my stepdad's name.
Like, I meant someone like... Anyway, so yeah. I just imagine someone goes, oh, Skylar, you haven't aged a bit. And just... They look in the corner and just... He, like, comes out all the stupid fly hands and... Mr. Burns can carry.
I'm imagining he walks out, hands behind his back, all confident.
Maybe he's younger now.
Ooh.
And he goes, and maybe he looks down and he goes, this isn't what I want. And the thing is, for some reason, it's like Zod in Man of Steel. He's got it. And for anyone
he's studied it for years.
And for anyone who thought it was dumb that Zod got it, no. That was one of my favorite parts about
part of
Man
the reason
Steel.
that General Zod was General Zod,
and like he was trying to do that type of stuff. Anyway, I love that scene, and I imagine we're having a General Zod moment. He looks down at himself, so maybe he is doing the creepy hands, but then he goes, "Wait a minute," and he immediately ages de-ages and he's younger again. He goes, "Oh, that is wonderful." Oh, and like pops his back. He goes, "Wait a minute, I'm dreaming." Oh, and like everything just works for him. He goes, "This is wonderful. This is what you guys have." This, and he like, I don't know, like what would he manifest in his hands for no reason? Like what would he just be like, just start manifesting just to be like, I can do, like you guys can do, like, and maybe he just makes the room huge, just everything Inception style. The room just gets bigger and bigger. He goes, "Oh, you guys can bring this into the." So my question is crap going down in the outside world because of this dreaming? Like, is the house
I think stuff is weird. Maybe TARDIS style. The inside of the house is growing while the outside stays the same.
Okay. That's what I'm imagining too.
I
like,
think
it would be
work.
funny if Emma and the mom wake up and they're like, "Oh," and then they're just in some weird giant, for any Demon Slayer fans, Infinity Castle type stuff. They're like,
No.
"Huh."
They wake up and the house is bigger on the inside, and they go outside. It's just normal. They go back inside. It's bigger on the inside. For all the Doctor Who fans. We've got it.
The TARDIS. Oh, I'm so dumb. It took me a second to be like, what are you talking? Oh,
It's the TARDIS.
TARDIS.
It's
TARDIS.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, everyone. I haven't watched a lot of Doctor Who. So, you know what? I can't give Tim crap because I do think the Doctor's very interesting, and I want to...
time and relative dimension.
I think Doctor Who should be a villain, but whatever.
I mean, Matt Smith has played a few villains, and he is terrifying.
He needs to be better. Anyway, okay. I think that would be funny if she's like, "Go get some help," and Emma runs outside, and the house is, and maybe she can't even get to the front door because the house is so big.
The house just keeps expanding,
shifting, changing, stuff's going on. Maybe when she finally gets outside, we see like the dragons coming out. We see everything is happening. Oh,
the water tower gets back.
The water
up.
tower. And I imagine all the cops are just sitting there around it, like, why are we watching this thing? And Jessica doesn't get up. I still can't believe that happened. There's no way. Oh, how do it? Like gets up slowly. Frolicking, and starts running around again. I don't know why it frolics, but it just fits in my head. And I imagine it has a big cheesy cartoon, like 1950s animation, like cheesy cartoon face. Oh, hi there! And he like runs off.
Just a mouth. Just the mouth.
Yes, just a mouth. And it's the top of the...
Yes.
the top of the water tower.
The lid.
It runs off. This is a great day.
I love it.
Oh, we got a running water tower. We gotta get it down. And then that's when they can do the AT-AT on it. Not again.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. I think this would be so cute. So how do father and son defeat?
I think while they're in the dreamscape, Alex and the dad are they're battling against Dr. Kane, who they're all just manifesting all these random stuff.
What if the mom what if she finds him and she tries to pull it out and it doesn't? What if they're just gone?
Huh.
Like, because they've gotten so far in, he's basically mixing the dreamscape and that, like, they've made the doors. Maybe the mom sees the door, because maybe the mom can be there now too, and she can see the husband for a split second. It'll be cute. So instead of, because not like the cheesy ending where it's like, "Hi honey, I've magically returned," the mom sees what's been going on, sees the dreamscape. So now it's mother.
I think she touches the radio, and immediately, like, maybe we see like little electric shocks go into her, and she kind of like, her eyes roll back in her head and she falls. And as she's falling, we can have this transition where she falls, hits the ground, goes through the ground kind of flips upside down.
And she's standing.
The screen flips upside down, and she's standing there watching as Alex and the dad are manifesting crap to throw at Dr. Kane. And like, I'm imagining dinosaurs, transformers, spaceships. I'm imagining military stuff on Dr. Kane's side.
This is all from. I imagine the dad really isn't doing much because he wasn't a dreamer.
I'm imagining he's doing like so. When I was younger, one of my friends introduced me to a game you can play with just paper and pencil called Doodle War, where on your turn you can draw something and have it do something.
Oh, yeah.
And so you just, you draw a Death Star, and then, that the Death Star blows something up on their side. You draw a force field, and it will protect everything inside it.
It's like Andy.
Blows up.
It's like Andy with his toys.
Yeah.
I brought my attack dog. Well, I brought my dinosaur who eats force field dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff like that.
It's stuff like that, and it was a lot of fun. It's really difficult to win because it's just it's just a trade-off.
Well, you have to make something. I would just be like, because if you made the Death Star, I'd be like, well, I make what's his name? Not Galvatron, the giant
Galactus.
No. Basically, he's the Galactus of Transformers. But yeah, basically, I would make Galactus and be like, Galactus eats the Death Star, and he says it tastes awful because it's not a real moon. So, and I imagine, like he originally starts with the dad trying to make like a tank, and then Doctor makes like just something. He makes like an awesome like tech monster, and then Alex is like, oh yeah, check this out. And Mecha Godzilla shows up, and he's like, or it's the knockoff Power Rangers, and Alex jumps in it, like doing the whole power moves. Here we go! And you're like, yes. Good job, Alex. I imagine Emma finally gets back at one point and sees the mom like is just touching the radio, and she's frozen. Or she's on the ground, and Emma joins, and I imagine Emma's like, I got this, I'm ready, giant bazooka, and nothing appears. Dang it! She can't do it.
I like that. I think that's when like the mom and the dad would lock eyes, and they would see each other, and the mom it's kind of like it's just frozen, can't do anything, stuck with all this swirling tempest of emotions inside her, and maybe that's beginning to manifest a little bit just around her, and almost like smoky, not actually tangible, almost like a Dreamweaver and someone connected through whatever Dr. Kane is doing that's able to give them that it's able to connect them in a way that gives them the powers, kind of shares the powers between them.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the mom, she's not hooked up to the stuff. She just touched it. And so her dreams, her manifestations they're just her dreams. They're just her imagination.
Your dreams are just dreams.
And same with Emma. I think the bazooka can appear and it does nothing. Like it launches a rocket that just kind of, as it gets farther away from her,
it's
just kind of... No, I'm imagining it just kind of like... Fades.
It does nothing. It goes
just
through
fades.
them.
And then, yeah, I think just so that the mom and Emma can actually have something to do, I think the dad will say, we've got this. And then the mom wakes up. The mom and Emma wake up, and there's chaos going on outside. And maybe the house is back to normal. And so the mom and Emma go outside, and they see everything that's going on, and they're like, let's try to fix it.
Maybe
so they go
maybe
out
Alex, maybe the doctor is making all this stuff happen. Like all these bad things are happening, and Alex is out there, and he is fixing everything on the outside world. And it's the dad and the doctor fighting. The doctor and the dad are. This is a fight that's been expectant for years. Mm-hmm. And he goes, this is even playing ground. This is my place. And it'd be funny, though, because the dad, like, sends Alec back Alex wakes up and he tries to take
Dr. Kane.
Oh my gosh, I always want to say Dr. Craven. I'm like, nope, wrong guy. He tries to pull off the things for Dr. Craven, but Dr. Craven just...
Dr. Kane.
Dr. Kane, I said it. Dr. Kane just disappears. I imagine he just... Actually,
like
no.
Fades into dream.
So here's what I imagine how the end of Dr. Kane would go. They beat Dr. Kane and he wakes up in the real world, old and decrepit again. He's disappointed, and then he looks up as the other two, like everything's crashing down. He wakes up and everyone else is trying to get away because there's like something crashing down. It could be the water tower falling. Hi, everybody!
It could be the Majora's Mask movie.
Yeah, and it's like, hi! It could be the Majora. It could be something like something's coming down. And in a final moment, like Dr. Octopus style, he sees the door that the dad made originally. Like the door was still there. Like just one of the doors is just there. And
maybe Alex and the dad created a door
to get his dad
out. And Dr. Kane followed. And he woke up and Alex and his dad, Alex wakes up and his dad
comes through the door,
the front door of the house. Maybe through like the door opens and the dad walks through the front door into the house, and the white room in the back fades into the actual outside.
Yeah. I just imagine like there is a door and he opens it and he has a moment of power of the dreamscape in the palm of my hand, like Dr. Octopus style, and he just kind of hobbles through it like he's tired, he's weak, and he gets through it and he opens the door and it looks like it's fading and he realizes he's made a mistake and he like yells and it gets dark and it's swirling and we see him swirling in it and the door just man, it just disappears.
I like it.
So I imagine something like that's been going on, but again, Alex is outside facing everything. Dad is fighting on the inside. He pins Doctor down because the doctor's like, "You're not a dreamer. Me and my son are. This isn't your place. You're so you don't think
you are
big.
So out of your element."
Yeah, and also the dad realizes he needs to think out of the box because the doctor's pushing him at every turn.
Have you seen DuckTales? You've seen DuckTales.
I've seen enough.
Okay, there's an episode in season 3. If you haven't seen this episode, skip ahead about a minute and a half, maybe. You've skipped? Good. There's an episode where Fenton and his girlfriend have created this space in the cloud, on the internet, where through VR they're able to, manipulate things in a safe place so that, experiments gone wrong, they're not dangerous, they can't hurt you. Any ideas that you think of happen. And so Mark Beeks comes in because he's trying to steal Gizmo Duck's ideas, like always, and he just he hacks into it and takes over. And, what's her name? Gandra says, "You're not thinking, you have no original ideas, you've just got a big head." And Mark Beeks is like, "No original ideas? Oh yeah?" And then he turns into the classic Zelda boss where he's just a giant floating head with hands. And it's just funny. I'm imagining it's something like that where the dad...
I think the dad learns to finally think outside the box because the doctor...
I like that idea. I think, maybe he sees Alex fighting with pop culture stuff, and he's like, "You can do that? Huh, let me try." And he
pulls out the 80s, probably the 90s. His dad would probably be...
like Star Wars, classic 90s. Star Wars stuff.
Yeah,
pulls out a lightsaber,
I imagine if he's a pure, born in the late 80s, 90s, because I imagine his dad's probably at this time and age, because you said Alex is 15. Oh, good gravy. 15 was 2016. Doesn't matter. It's still 2008. I was in junior high, and if his dad is 8 years older than me, that's only 36. So that means he was born mid-80s.
Yeah. Well, I'm imagining that his dad is about. I'm imagining his dad is my dad.
Your dad is my dad. My dad's cooler than your dad.
Your mom.
Your mom. What?
I've been imagining like maybe 40.
But teaching the dad to think outside the box.
Yeah.
And he's now using fun stuff. He's being fun.
He's being fun.
He's making a giant cheese burger monster. He's making
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs too.
Yeah. There's a leak in the boat. Like, like, and he's just, and it would just be cute because the dad has always been like, you know, I wanted to limit my son. I wanted to make this box. You know, the point of this movie would be don't limit your imagination. Don't let yourself be in a box. Sometimes it's okay to think outside the box. That's why me and Tim have had so much fun making some of these ideas. You guys have seen from this episode that me and Tim don't. I've totally gone on so many tangents because of this story. Again, Tim, I apologize.
It's fine. It's fun.
But that's why we do this. So, I think that would be a cute lesson for his dad. Like, his dad's losing. I imagine he is losing. They're playing, like, I imagine, like, they're doing exactly what you said, but it's more like army men, but the scientist is just smarter. He's like, you don't know what a nuke is, do you? Throws a nuke. Like, and it's just, he's messing the dad up. Mm-hmm. And the dad's just like, well, you can't beat a nuke eater, and it's just like this little tiny gremlin thing eats the nuke, and he goes, you can't do that. I can do whatever I want. We're dreaming. And he gets huge. He's like, do you not understand what we are? This is why you're not meant to be a dreamer, and you never will. You know,
I like it.
It's just something cute like that. And then finally he like, you know, I'll see you later. We're done here. And like everything just starts, like the Pines ending. Mm-hmm. He just turns it off. He's like, I'm waking up. I'm done. And the door appears, and he's like floating above him. And if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night sort of thing. You know, he's like, and yeah, I know that's a Truman Show thing, but we've been saying Jim Carrey this whole night, and I just think that'd be so funny. Like, you know, just, I'll be seeing you. And he closes the door, and the doctor wakes up immediately, and he goes, where am I? And you see his dad walk out the door, and he goes, man, you have aged a lot, haven't you? And he walks out, I'll be seeing you. And he says it again. Like, I think it'd be funny if he does it twice.
Be seeing you.
Be seeing you. And then he closes the door, and then he wakes up, and he goes, I'd get out of here if I were you. And then he sees the door is right there, and I think that's when the doctor would just be like, nope, screw it. And he just...
No, I can't lose this.
He's like, I'm not losing this. And he gets up, and he looks at the door, and something looks off with the door. Like this dark swirl.
It's starting to fade.
But again, though, can you just imagine, like, because he's tainted it. I imagine he's left something.
You really like your villains to leave a mark.
I do. I want a second movie. Yeah. I want him to be the Dreamwalker. I want him to be like this Freddy... Yeah,
Freddy Krueger
kind
of character.
Oh, yeah. I have a scene ready. This would definitely be like, you know, the tone shift when he went from the second Harry Potter movie to the third. Yeah, that's what would happen in the next movie. It'd be like, oh, this is not the same. That's how I would. We'll talk about it someday.
We'll talk about it someday.
But I just imagine like or at least just. It leaves an open ending of like the doctor decided either way he could die there because the door closes and maybe there's nothing, or something happens. We don't know. Mm-hmm. So either the doctor dies in the dream world because the dream world just shuts down, or maybe he's just stuck there. It'd be funny if later when the guys are dreaming, he's like, "Hi guys," and maybe he's happy and he just waves at them. I don't know, or something cute like that. Who knows? Mm-hmm. Maybe he just decides to be in that world and he's just teaching like a bunch of gremlins.
Yeah.
So you see here, class, and all these weird, like the dragon from early and the fire-breathing gorilla. Is mayonnaise an instrument? Like, I don't know. You know, they're just asking weird stuff. Like, maybe that could be the cute ending you want, or we go my way.
I think just leaving it open, where he goes through the door,
and it fades.
And then just disappears.
That's it. And I'm okay with that. But you all know what I want. You guys know how I think.
Yep.
I like my dark endings. But I think that would be a good... happy. And I think the dad could actually teach the son. That's the thing, though, is I think his dad could help him put everything back together. And Harry's like, you just need to learn. He's like, you can make these things go away. It's not. He's like, it's okay to think outside the box, but it's not okay to calm down and get back in it when it's time to focus. It's fine. And I think he'll help Alex calm down, and the storm and the talking water fountain, the water tower's like, am I done? And he's like, yeah, you're done. Oh, okay. I'll see you later, Alex. And he goes back and stands still. Oh, goodbye.
Stands in his normal spot.
Yeah, just things like that. And then that's when the mom would be like, so you had fun on your little 10-year vacation? Or 12 years. Oh, gosh. Mm-hmm. Let's say just 10. Just 10.
Just 10.
He disappeared when he was 6. He just turned 16.
Yeah, I like that.
So
I like that.
Maybe even 15. 5 or 15. 5 to 50. I like that. And then I'm just kind of, I don't know. How would you want it to end? Sorry, Tim. I've just been like,
I don't know.
This went on wow.
Over 2 hours.
Oh, wow. When did that happen? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, happened a while ago.
Okay, this will be fun to edit. Anyway, so how would it end, Tim?
I think it would end with, obviously I want a touching scene with the mom and the dad getting back together, hugging.
Smoochy face.
Maybe they kiss and
Alex.
And the dad's like, oh, that is so much better than I imagined.
No! What do you mean by that? Nothing.
Or maybe so much better than I remembered.
Okay.
I think that works better.
No. No. Drop the word imagine. That's so better than how I imagined it. What do you mean you imagined it? No, I just meant, what do you mean? Nothing. No, it's fine. Just gives her another kiss, like Mr. Incredible style, gives her a hug. Or maybe that's when Alec comes in and just hugs them both, and his dad's like, thanks, buddy.
No.
Yes, it was so funny. That's way better than I imagined. No, fine.
Way better than I remembered.
I
think remember is better.
It is, because that makes more sense.
And imagined is funny because it's imagination, dreaming, but also
I meant remembered. It would be actually no. He could say imagine. What do you mean? I meant remembered. I meant remembered. Now remembered. Just remembered. You're right. It's a little kids movie.
And yeah, I want the mom and the dad to hug, kiss, and then Alex come up and hug them both, and Emma joins in, and the dad's like, who's this?
Oh no, he could know who Emma is.
Oh, actually, I like that.
No, because he would, because again, she's one of his first friends, and she saw
Alex has had a lot of dreams about you. I've gotten to know you through Alex's dreams.
Well, I also imagine, they moved after, they probably met, Alex had just moved, and Emma was his first friend, because again, he was weird. Mm-hmm. No one knew he was the kid that his dad left. His dad ran away, but he always makes stories, like when he was a little boy, he said, my dad ran away, my dad was a dreamer like me, and he got swept up in dreams. And maybe Alex always had a dream about his dad going in through a door or something. I don't know. But I think that'd be cute that he just knew who Emma was. Just Emma is like, you must be Emma. My son's always like, thank you for taking care of him. He dreams about you often. And she's like, and she lives in a weird look on adventures. Like you guys have solved mysteries, done pirate ships. You've always been there. Thank you. That'd be cute. But I imagine when they're all hugging the water tower. Aww. How's it a happy ending? And then
you two should kiss.
You two should kiss. No, I just imagine but when they're backing, they're all hugging and it's all warm. And just as it's backing up,
kind of as it fades out,
the symphony,
classic movie,
going, the symphony's going up. Oh, such a sweet ending.
Yes, I love it.
My question is this where does the water tower come from again?
Gravity Falls.
Does the water tower get up and walk away?
Yeah, when Bill Cipher shows up.
Oh, that's right. Okay, now I just love this water tower. And I think it's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a sweet ending. Shut up. Okay. And then the end. The end. How did I get here? The end.
Yes. I think that's a good ending. I really like this story.
I do too.
Like I told you, I had ideas.
I'm very sorry if I.
I'm so glad that we were able to express them.
I'm very sorry if I stepped on toes.
It's fine.
Oh!
It's fine.
I stepped on toes. I did.
No, it's honestly getting your feedback and your input and your ideas for this story was great. We got some really good ideas passed between the two of us.
I love the scenes. I love the scenes we came up with. I love his imagination of Calvin and Hobbes. It's fine. I will use my Dreamwalker villain another time because there's a scene that I just want so bad, and it is not meant for a kid's story.
Meant for kids?
No, it's not a kid's story. It's a scary one. But not like horror. I mean like...
just a dark villain.
A dark villain. I love my dark villains. Mm-hmm. I think that's probably why you can tell. I think my favorite villain is the Lord Ruler and Odium in Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah.
I think for anyone who's read Red Rising, I think it's so funny because there's not really a villain. They're all just awful in their own way. It's just the worst parts of human nature. But I love like a figure of darkness. I love those type of villains. Mm-hmm. So someday you guys will get my Dreamwalker. So, yeah. But I think I don't know. I think that was a good story, Tim. Is there anything else you want to?
Yeah. Tell
the good folks.
I love the story. It was fun. Yeah, I guess just to close out, thank you all for listening. And, as always, be kind, love each other, and don't stop dreaming.
No, please do not stop dreaming, everybody. Express yourself, have fun. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this, and I don't think it will be this long after I'm done editing, but this is a fun one. So until next time, we will see you later, pitches. Bye.
Goodbye.